where we are building the world's first truly fully modernized classic. These are not restorations. They're not old cars. They're modern vehicles. 2025, built on a modern 2025 chassis, drives like a new car, reliable like a new car, luxury on par with your G-Wagon, Range Rover, or better. And we're going to walk you through what we have in inventory. This is Rachel. Rachel on our sales team. Say hello.
Hi everyone.
Happy Friday. How you doing?
Wanted to show you a couple cool ones now that they're under the light tunnel. So this one right here is a custom color. It's called Caribbean Turquoise. Check out how this color absolutely pops. You know where I think this would be a really fun location for this one would be like Miami. I can just see it really standing out in Miami. It's so beautiful. But yeah, so this one is going under the light tunnel to get some inspection. Every single one of our vehicles, they go through rigorous inspection points before they get shipped out to our clients. But check out how beautiful this one is. It does have the vintage striping you'll see here, but it doesn't have the red stripe. It's just the white stripes. So classic looking, so beautiful with the chrome trim and chrome finishes. Super, super pretty. White soft top, which really pops with the striping. And let's see, yeah, this one will be up for grabs eventually. We're trying to hopefully keep it as a demo so we can drive it a little bit, but of course, right offer might take it right. So we won't promise.
They never last.
They don't last.
Yeah.
That's every time we try to keep one, they go the quickest. Couple things, couple notes. So you'll see a number pinned below. I'm gonna be in and out of showings all day today, but if you want to text or call, ask us any questions, hopefully I can get you on the phone. Give me a call or text us any questions. We have a couple, no, actually, I was gonna say a couple builds up for grabs, we don't. That inventory Wimbledon white build that we were talking about yesterday, absolutely gorgeous. My favorite personal color, sold yesterday. So that one is no longer up for grabs. I have one midnight blue that's available, can ship immediately. Think of this time of year, you don't wanna wait, you want something immediately for your warm home. That's a perfect option to go with, and it's a stunning color. Otherwise, we have a couple that are in queue, but there's some fun colors over here, so I thought I would show you guys actually. Like, for example, this isn't one I would have personally ever thought I would choose, but check out this color. This is a hot ginger metallic. I mean, if you're in Texas, right? We can go do some, like, what's it called? I'm having a brain fart. When you go on party before a football
Tailgate.
game. Tailgate.
Like this. Tailgate.
Tailgating. Why did I
Yeah.
not think of that? But tailgating, could you imagine this would be the ultimate tailgating football day? Okay, also, I mean, there's a mini cooler, but there's plenty of room for a big cooler in here as well. So you have this mini cooler to keep some stuff hidden, and then you can put your plenty of stuff to put all your food and snacks. I mean, this would be the ultimate tailgating vehicle for sure. This one is different than a lot of the ones you'll see here because it has a lot of the black finishes instead of the chrome finishes. You'll see like things like the windows, the hinges. Speaking of Texas, check that out right here. The little touches that matter, right?
Longhorns.
How did I know that was going there? But yeah, so black grill, black trim, black wheels. Yeah, so black finishes, which I think whenever I see this, I think it is a little bit more of a modern build too. I think the chrome adds a little bit more of the vintage flair, but looks really, really good on this color. Looks like they did our boggle brown interior, which is one of our like top two that we see a lot of people doing. I've also seen people or talked to someone yesterday, if they were to do this color, they do like a black interior. Depends on where you are, if you can handle a black interior if it gets too hot, right? Especially this time of year, it can get a little warm. So. Speaking of Texas and football, this car is definitely super cool. I've never seen one like this. This is the first of its kind. And if you show the interior headrest, they did something custom. Go Oilers. So yeah, very, very beautiful. This bright white with the red and blue striping, which we can pretty much do anything. So if you have a favorite sports team that you want to match, or you know, any type of team or colors that you love that are your favorite, we can work with you on our design team and make sure you get exactly what you like. But look at the hood, insane, it looks so good. Like this thing going down the road, I mean, everyone's gonna be turning and saying what the heck that is and where the heck is that.
Should we check out Midnight Blue?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll follow you.
Oh, Midnight Blue?
Yeah, we'll go for a little walk. And while we're doing that, this is our factory here in Atlanta, Georgia, where 900 hours of art and science blend together. It's all handcrafted by our amazing team of people who are obsessive over quality. This is our sub-assembly station right here, where all the detail behind the scenes things happen. This is our assembly line. I'll walk you through that after Rachel's done showing us what we have in stock. This is our inspection tunnel, where it goes through another set of rigorous inspections before final detail and final shipping. And this is our holding area, where they're ready to go home to their forever home, and they're all pretty much sold.
Where is the Arcadian blue? Did that ship out to Greg?
Yeah, it did.
Greg, if you're watching, I'm so excited. Make sure you text me when you get it. I can't wait to see. Oh my gosh, this is going up to Nantucket. I just talked to him again the other night. He's so excited, and a lot of our clients still tune into the lives to see if they can get a quick glance of their vehicle in the making, which is so fun for us. But this is that one that I was telling you guys is up for grabs. Oh, look, I'm putting it yeah, midnight blue, very, very sharp color. This one is up for grabs on our inventory page. Now, if you can't find our inventory page, just shoot me a text at the number below. Ask for inventory. I'll tell you not only all the specs on this build, but I'll also let you know what is going to be upcoming. Because I do have a couple. Oh, I forgot my glove. I do have a couple that are actually going to be available and ready to ship next month. Couple things here to point out. I was just talking to a lovely woman yesterday, and the number one reason she wanted this vehicle, she's getting it for her husband for a surprise. Now, we love doing surprises here, okay? We love whether it's an anniversary, a birthday, Christmas is right around the corner. Do not wait till the last second. We might actually be late if you're already looking for ours, but talk to me, we'll see what I can do. But anyways, gifts are so fun here. And if you're looking for something to really surprise your significant other, you're also my favorite type of client. I love when people buy for their significant other. The reason she's buying this is because she doesn't want to go buy him some crappy old Bronco that's going to be breaking down and it doesn't work and it's not starting and you don't know where to get it fixed and all of those things. She wanted something that's also going to be reliable for her whole family, right? They have two little boys, 2 and 4. They're both still in car seats. And I think that's one of the most important things about us that separates us. No one else in the world is building what we're building here. When it comes to overall safety, you're going to have 6 airbags, traction control, anti-lock brakes, crumple zone, side impact beams, which no other classic car in the world is doing. Even little touches, things like this exterior body panel. I think a lot of people are like, hey, Vintage, how on earth do you guys get these to look this way? Are these like old body panels that you guys are redoing and making them all shiny and new? These are brand new steel body panels, so you're not going to worry about rust. I mean, the lines and gaps on our vehicles are perfect down to the millimeter. If you look at old cars, you're going to find all these weird gappings. This is pristine and well done. I think, was it Jeff Miller that was also just talking about this the other day? He's got all these different beautiful vehicles. And he's also had a lot of friends that have done restorations and restomods, and he's like, they were always unsatisfied by the quality of work. That is not something that would happen here. I mean, like I said, rigorous checkpoints before every vehicle goes out the door. But yeah, let's see. Okay, so this is the one that just sold. I'm so sad about it.
Yeah, it was fast.
I wish it was delivering to my house. But, so this one, yeah, we talked about it yesterday and it sold. And of course, there was 2 other people that were like, let us know if it falls through. But the wire came through, people. Unfortunately, she's gone, but she's beautiful and she's gonna be sadly missed.
We have another Wimbledon white though in progress.
There is a Wimbledon white in progress. So if this was the color, there's also Marianne that I talked to yesterday that wants a Wimbledon white. She really, really wanted this one, but get with us. We have some that are in progress. Also, I don't think this color gets enough love. Really quick, I just want to talk about it. This is diamond blue. So a lot of people see our Brittany blue as one of the classic Ford colors, right? A lot of people love that one and they'll say, hey, I'd like the light blue. This is one shade lighter. It's almost like an off-white, but it's so, so beautiful. We call it our diamond blue. Look at that finish. Like the slow, you know, like the slow cabinets. This is like a slow open. That's so cool. But yeah, this color is just unreal. Goes really, really well. This is the worn glove interior with the woven tuxedo inserts. So, so beautiful. Ooh, don't forget, people, this is one of the coolest things. No, you will not break it. A lot of people ask us that, but no, you will not break it. But yeah, this one's, wait, this car started.
No, it's somebody else's.
Oh.
Oh, you're right. It is started.
I was gonna say, well, there you go. Speaking of that, a lot of people like us to start it because they're like, what's the power? What's underneath the hood? Underneath the hood, it's the modern turbo engine, right? So it's a 2.3 liter turbo. We can upgrade it with a Roush performance package so that you get the intake, exhaust, and tune. You want a little bit of that rumble, right? You don't want it to be overbearing where you're not gonna be able to hear people, but a little bit of the rumble is really fun. Now, this color is going out to Corinna. She is so great. She is so excited. She was just here taking pictures yesterday, but I think she's over in Arizona, and yeah, she can't wait to get this. It's absolutely beautiful. This is an aspen green. And this one also has like a dark chocolate interior, which is so different than some of the other ones. Actually, I'll let Cho.
I have my glove on, so I'm going to. This is ready to ship today. Yeah.
But check out this, like even how beautiful that is. So if you're someone that's worried about a white interior or even a light something because you have some kiddos, you'll be safe with this interior. But we have so many different leather options, you guys, and different styles of pleating. So if you want a diamond stitch or if you want a woven tuxedo, that's what our design team is for. They're amazing. They'll be able to walk you through all your options. So one more time, I gotta get going, but my number is listed below. Shoot us a text or a call for inventory and upcoming builds, or if you're looking for something next spring, you better get on our contact list right away. But yeah, that's the update for today.
Okay.
Happy Friday, everyone.
All right, Rachel, thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Guys.
Okay. All right, that's Rachel on our sales team. If you have questions about inventory, if you want to know what we have in progress right now, and if you want to learn about our build process, we can answer all your questions. You can text or call us. And what I'm going to do with the rest of our time together here is I'm going to explain to you what you're actually looking at. What is a modern classic? How is it different from a restoration? What is a restoration versus a restomod? Is it an old car? And what really makes it unique, and why should you spend and invest $250,000 into this vehicle? And I am really, really excited to be able to share with you all of the story and the details behind it, because really all of this was born out of passion. And as a founder of this company, you should know a couple things about me. Number one, I'm a car fanatic. And when I say fanatic, like I obsess and have obsessed over cars since I was a kid. And but I could never afford them because when I was young, we had no money. And so what do you do if you just love cars? And the kind of cars I liked were like Porsches and Ferraris. And my parents were like, nah, cars are for point A to point B. And I'm like, I totally disagree, respectfully. And so I decided that my mission in life was I'm going to go make money. I'm going to be successful. I'm going to go make it. And I started with nothing, but I was so driven and loved cars so much that it drove me to go work my butt off, win early in my life. And since I was 21 years old, I've had over 50 cars. And those cars are car brands like Ferrari, Lamborghini, Aston Martin, McLaren, AMG, Bentley. I mean, I can make a huge list and blow your mind. And I tell you that not to brag. I tell you that for a couple of reasons. One is if I could do it, you should be able to do it too, because I started at the very bottom. But number two, I know what good looks like. And as a person who has bought and sold at this point almost 60 cars since I was 21, and I've used them all, I've driven them, I've spec'd some custom ones, I've gone through the build process, and then I've done warranty, and I've had to deal with things that happen because it's a car. It doesn't matter how much you spend, by the way. If you think that spending $400,000 means it'll be perfect, that just isn't the case, and I was very surprised. Bottom line is that it took somebody who was obsessed with cars but wasn't a mechanic. Because if I was a mechanic, I can tell you that we'd be doing restoration. But because I was spoiled, and by the way, we all are. You don't have to have fancy cars or 50 cars to be spoiled by modern day engineering, modern day reliability, modern day technology. It's 2025, guys. We live in a world where we expect everything to work. I'm sure you didn't get in your car this morning and hit the button or turn the key and go, I wonder if it's gonna start. And I'm sure you didn't drive to work thinking, please don't die on me, please don't die on me. I'm sure you weren't wondering if you were gonna be stranded on the side of the road today. It's 2025. Technology, engineering, design has come such a long way. So the most common misconception is that this is a 1960s truck. I can tell you that unless you're a collector or a purist or a mechanic that wants to and loves to work on their car, this this whole idea of a restoration, which I did myself and fell in love with the idea, the reality and what I got out of it was very different. I'm gonna share with you very transparently what happened. So I had all these nice cars, and one day I say, you know what, I'm gonna go buy my dream car. And it was a 1970 Ford Bronco. I bet for a lot of you, you've always dreamed of this. I did too. I know exactly how you feel. And by the way, in general, I love a lot of old cars because they just look better, right? Land Rover Defender, I've had a D110 that I restored. I've had 2 FJ40 Land Cruisers, an H1 Hummer, several old Broncos, and I've had old European 2-door G-Wagons too. And I can tell you, there was one thing about them that was better than all of my new cars. They looked better than them. Everything else was inferior. And that's just a fact. It's not my opinion. Old cars have a lot of problems. And the reality is, when I bought my old Ford Bronco, I was shocked by just how big of a gap there was between 1960s engineering, design, and technology, or lack of, versus today's. And I've been so conditioned, like all of us, so spoiled by the fact that things just work in 2025, that the only thing great about that old truck was the way it looked. The steering. Imagine you get in your car this morning, and instead of just driving to work and getting there without really having to think twice, the entire time you have to constantly make sure that you're not swerving into the other lane or going off the road. And quite frankly, you're probably not going to be able to go on the freeway in your old car at 75 miles per hour. So get that out of your head, right? Unless you're just like a crazy stunt driver and thrill seeker. And that's if you make it, because the technology then and the design and engineering then, it just doesn't compare. Let's put it in perspective, guys. 60 years of advancement has happened in the technology and design and engineering. And so these old cars, they don't drive well. The brakes barely worked on my Bronco, leaked everywhere, smelled bad. These are all things that, quite frankly, whether you have a nice, fancy new car or just any modern car, you're not going to put up with that. And so the reality was, I loved the way it looked, but I actually hated everything else about it. And so a lot of people would have given up, but I'm a car-obsessed fanatic that is also an entrepreneur. I had sold one of my companies. I retired in my early 30s, and my wife said she didn't want to hang out with me breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and I need to go do something else. So I bought a Bronco. Be careful what you wish for, because that one Bronco went from me breaking down, me calling her and saying, hey, can you come pick me up again, taking an Uber. I realized I can't take this thing very far. I can't take it fast. I can't take it if the weather isn't perfect. And I definitely can't take it somewhere important because I don't even know if I'm gonna make it. And my kids at the time were only 8 and 10 years old. And my kids, they loved that car. They're like, Dad, take us in the Bronco. And my wife was like, yeah, you're not taking that car. There's 0 safety features. So let me pause there for a minute, because my guess is you probably don't ever think about the safety features in your car, nor should you. Those are things that are there to protect you should something happen. We take it for granted because once technology and design and engineering improved and safety around automotive became a big deal, we didn't have to think about it as much because we got things like anti-lock brakes and traction control. And then we got airbags. And then the design and the engineering of the vehicle underneath got smarter. Let me show you underneath it all how we actually transform a modern 2025 platform, chassis, foundation into a modern classic. And I'll remind you again, I know it looks this way, but it is not an old car. It is not a restoration. And I will tell you, at this price point, if you can afford it, you actually don't want a restoration. And I only know this because I went through it myself. So let me show you. This right here, these are some of the pre-orders that we have. The demand for a modernized, fully modernized classic car is huge because so many people always wanted one of these, like me, but they didn't want to deal with the problems, like me. Guys, I went through a lot of pain and suffering because I was just so hard-headed and relentless, and I knew it could be done. And so my journey went from my desire to have an old car, my fear on why I didn't want an old car, my fear was validated on why I didn't want an old car, and then I began the journey. So let me tell you, it went from restoration, fixing my old car, to restomod, which is what we did in this building, modern restoration, built an assembly line, built a team, built process, built parts, built supply chain. And we built beautiful restomods, and we built them for all kinds of people. Jennifer Lopez, LeBron James, Mark Wahlberg. We have a whole list of all kinds of people that you know who are clients and friends, and people just like you and me. And all we wanted was we had achieved enough success in our life that we could really buy whatever we wanted. And what we wanted at the time was the best thing you can get on the market, which is a restomod, a modern modified restoration. If you look out there, you'll see a bunch of them. There's a lot of companies doing it. We used to do it too. We did probably more than anybody. We definitely did it better than anybody because my obsession was always over quality. I kept trying to make it like my G-Wagon. I kept trying to make it like my Range Rover. And every iteration and every improvement we made it incrementally closer, but it became clear, it's not gonna happen. You can't make an old car equivalent to a truly modernized vehicle. And when your daily driver is a Range Rover Autobiography or a G-Wagon G63 AMG or a Bentley Bentayga or a Rolls-Royce Cullinan or a Lamborghini Urus, did I name all your cars already? If I did, then I know what it is you want because I have those same cars and I wanted the same thing. And so the client feedback that we got, which is really important because I came from a technology background. I built 2 top 100 apps in the App Store. The only way you build a great product in technology is if you iterate. You listen to customer feedback and you make it better. And you listen to customer feedback and you make it better. You just keep doing it until it actually never stops. That's why if you look at any app that you use, it's got a version 1, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 2.1. It just keeps going. So my philosophy was very different from the people who were in the business of restoration. And when we got in the business, we were an outlier because we didn't come from a mechanical background. We came from a software technology and a person who had been spoiled by very, very nice cars. And the entire time, I kept comparing it to my nice car. So what did we do? Well, let me show you why we moved away from restoration. And I want to tell you, they were beautiful cars. The fit and finish was gorgeous. We made them as modern as we could. And by the way, our customers, they loved it because it was the best thing they could get. And so what we decided was we're gonna change things and do the opposite. We're not gonna try to make an old car more modern. We're gonna take a modern car chassis, 2025, modern car reliability, modern car technology, and the number one thing, modern car safety features. Because even if you do nail everything and you somehow make that old car more modern, you will still not have safety features. And that was the straw that broke the camel's back for me. So I recruited Bob Nardelli, the former CEO of Chrysler, to our board. And we had a lot of talks about Bob, like, we gotta make it better, we gotta make it better. And it pained me to go to those board meetings and say, guys, it's great, but, right? Or the clients love it, but, or, you know, the car is really fantastic, but can you really take it on a road trip? Can you really take it in the rain? Can you really drive it, you know, with your family? And feel just as safe as you do in your Range Rover or your Cadillac Escalade? No. If you're being honest, no, you can't. And that's why if you look at the ads of any of our competitors, they never mention safety because they can't. And we didn't either because there's no safety features, but especially not airbags. And guys, let me tell you something. In the world we live in today, where people are texting and driving and no one's paying attention and, you know, you got a bunch of autopilot, hopefully it works, you know, that kind of stuff. You want to make sure. And by the way, if you're in this price point or you plan on being this price point, it means you work your butt off to get here. You can't put that at risk. You don't love cars that much, right? You're not that diehard of a car fan that you're going to go down with it. And so we made a very, very big decision. It was time to evolve. We had already made a better classic car with the Restomod, and now we wanted to make a fully modernized vehicle. So let me tell you why and how it's different. Old cars, Defender 90, love them, short wheelbase. Old FJ Toyota Land Cruiser, love them, they look cool, they're boxy, but they also drive like a box of rocks. Why? Old 1960s Bronco, and even the modified and Restomods, short wheelbase. 92-inch wheelbase is going to immediately, when you get behind the wheel, make you go, oh, that's different. They don't make 92-inch wheelbase cars anymore. In addition to that, these old cars have a narrow track width. So you don't have to be a physicist to understand this. If you have a short distance between here and here, and you have a short distance between here and there, what's going to happen when you drive it? you're going to feel a significant difference in the driving experience compared to your normal car because the geometry cannot change. It's like remodeling a house. If the house is from the 1900s, you don't change all of the foundation and the pipes and all that stuff, then you're really making it better on the outside. But the core foundation that you put your family and everybody into, the entire investment rides on this. It shouldn't be from the 1960s, and it shouldn't even be a remake from the 1960s. It should be 2025. So this modern 2025 chassis has a 100.4-inch wheelbase. That's an 8-inch difference. 8 inches makes a big difference. Right here, you have a wider track width. So now you got wider stance, longer stance, and it has independent front suspension, IFS. Now let me tell you something that's really funny. Old cars have solid axles. You probably don't even know what that means, so I'll explain it to you. I didn't either, honestly. Solid axles are great for off-roading. So if you want to off-road, man, you definitely want solid axles. But I've had 5 or 6 Range Rovers, 5 or 6 G-Wagons. All my friends have them. None of them off-road. And guess how many times I off-roaded my car? That's not me. Now, if that's you, then more power to you. Go build a solid axle vehicle. But for our customers who just want to drive it in the city, to school, to work, to the lake, to the beach, with their family, on the freeway, in the rain, you're going to want independent front suspension. So wider track width, longer wheelbase, IFS, game changer. You're driving a 2025 vehicle, period. There's no debate around it. And it's not an opinion, it's just a fact. It's going to drive better. So that is a drivability. And then you add the safety features. And this is a big deal because my kids at the time were 8 and 10. Let me tell you something cool that I haven't shared that really blew up the brand online for us. We built the world's first pink restomod. And it blew us up viral globally. And it used to be that 95% of every inquiry we received about our vehicles were from men. After the pink one was built, we happen to be standing in front of one right here, all of a sudden, women wanted the car. And our client base and demographics shifted from only men who always wanted an old car, grew up with an old Bronco, wanted to relive the nostalgia of their uncle, grandpa, whatever, to, hey, my wife saw your Instagram and she wants one of your cars. And as the founder of this company, I felt a certain responsibility there. And if we asked the customer, well, how is she going to drive it? And they say, well, we got a couple kids. And I'd be like, oh, okay, well, what are you going to do? Well, she wants kind of daily drive. Well, you could drive it and you can drive with your kids, but if you're going on the freeway, you're on the road, you're actually going to go in the rain, you're actually going to take it somewhere far, not even far, but just like anything over 25 miles per hour down the street, you're going to want safety features. And I knew in the back of my mind, as the company really blew up, that we were going to reach a point where if we wanted to truly become a legitimate car company and deliver a product that had zero compromises in terms of reliability, drivability, and safety, we only had one choice. And we made the hard decision. We made the decision to build on a modern chassis instead of an old one so you could get safety features. I'm going to walk you through this because nobody thinks about it every day, and nor should you. Crumple zones. You want crumple zones. Crumple zones are purposely designed to crumple around you so that if you got hit in the front and the back, both, however, and even the side, that the inside of the cabin and the passengers are protected. Not a thing for classic cars or restomods. That always pained me because I always knew that until you provide your customers at a $250,000 plus price point, by the way, with safety features, you're gonna have to know that it's just a slight step below their normal car. So they always think twice about where they take it, how fast they're gonna go, how far they're gonna go, and who they're gonna go with. When my son turned 16, I let him drive the old restomods, but I was worried the whole time because what if something happened? Crumple zones save lives. Built into the chassis, you don't have to think about it, and that's there. Functional roll bar tied to the chassis. God forbid you roll, you want to make sure this thing's actually tied to the chassis. And then side impact beams. Old cars, restomods, they don't have side impact beams. It wasn't a thing then. And again, you can't retrofit these things into an old car or a restoration or a restomod. If we could, we would have done it. And instead, you will have almost a fully certified vehicle, but not really. And so therefore, the crumple zones, the roll bar, the side impact beams, they all matter. But the number one thing that saves lives and is mandatory in every single modern vehicle today that's new on the road is gonna be airbags. This invention we didn't make, obviously, and it's been around for a long time, and it saves lives. So after you get in an accident and you've got crumple zones protecting you, side impact beams protecting you, roll bar protecting you, airbags, 6 of them. And this to me was the bottom line. I scoured the earth. I talked to engineers and other people, and I said, we need airbags. And they said it can't be done. And so after validating that it couldn't be done, we knew, let's not try to make this old car more modern, because you can't even put airbags in it, even if you did all that. 6 of them, 1 in the steering wheel, 1 in the front passenger side, 1 in each of the front seats, and then these side curtain airbags on each side. You're driving a modern 2025 vehicle. No compromises. So your Range Rover, your G-Wagon, is probably going to sit once you get one of these, because you don't have to reserve it for these very special, slow, short distance moments where it's the perfect time to drive your old classic. Guys, it's 250 grand. Do you really want it to sit in your driveway or your garage undriven? I don't know about you, but all those cars I had, I drove. And I'm not a collector. I'm not, a purist, and I didn't want to just look at them. I wanted to drive them. And so I drove them. And so now you have the history behind it. We transformed this modern 2025 chassis into truly a fully modernized, classic-inspired vehicle. And we also went through the proper certification and compliance checks. So it's FMVSS certified. And we blew the airbags. And we crash tested it. All of it passed. So now I'm going to show you how. How do you take this modern car chassis, and isn't that just like you throw some body panels on? If you know a better, faster, way to do it, then tell me, because I did it the long way. So this is what we did. We take this chassis, only keep the frame, the drivetrain, and the safety features, and the technology that makes it reliable, safe, and drive like a modern car. Everything else is gone. And then we went to Detroit, and we stamped brand new classic inspired body panels. And I say classic inspired because if we kept it the same, there'd be a problem. It would be narrow again, it'd be too short. And so now you just go stamp panels and put it back on a flawed geometry. So instead, this is a 2-inch wider, 8-inch longer vehicle, and it's imposing, it's big. And steel, not fiberglass, not a cheap alternative, not plastic or aluminum, actual American-made Detroit steel. And we own the tools and the molds that made this. What does that mean? That means the quality of all the lines and the gaps are perfect. And we control our own supply chain, so we can control our build schedule so we can deliver it on time. And then after delivery, God forbid you get in an accident, we have all the parts. Because at this point, we either have massive relationships with vendors that carry the parts for us, or we make them so we can stay in control. And what we do with that, this is the beginning of the transformation of 900 labor hours. I don't even like to call it labor, because when you think of labor, you think, oh, anyone can do that. That's just hard work. No, handcrafted art. 900 hours of handcrafted art. So we take these steel panels, we put them on our modern chassis, and then we go through great lengths. We measure everything to make sure it's absolutely perfect. And everything we do is data-driven. Remember, I came from a technology background, and so we were able to blend this art with science. So gap gauges, spec for every line, down to the millimeter. And we're very, very picky about it, because at the very core of this company is a person who's had every car brand you can think of. And they were expensive cars, so I knew what good had to look like. And then we recruited a team and created a culture of meticulous artists and engineers who wanted very badly for this to be perfect for our customers. And that transformation, which I'll show you over here, is how we're able to take a modern car chassis and then fit our classic inspired steel body on it, and then go through hundreds, I mean, the paint process alone, hundreds of hours to turn it into the art that it is. And it is art. Every line, every gap, every single piece and part on the car has been thought through meticulously, and we reject a lot of parts, whether we make them or we buy them. How are you, man?
Hey, pretty good.
Excellent. Good to see you. Happy Friday. Because that's what it takes. People, process, parts. Now you run that cycle over and over and over, and you ask every single build, how do we make it better? How do we make it better? How do we make it better? And you can see that if you do that with people, process, and parts, not once a year or once a quarter or once a month, not even once a week. We have a motto here. If we wake up and we're breathing, we're going to make it better. And you can't make people do that. I've tried. You have to have a team of people who want, at the very, very core, intrinsically motivated by achieving perfection. And that is probably, of all the things that we have, I'll just say it, other than our social media marketing, which is very strong, it's our people and the culture. They're the ones doing this. And then we give them process, standard operating procedures. What is that? If you're in manufacturing, you know what this is. SOPs, standard operating procedures, for literally every single step in the entire 900-hour build process. Well, why do you need that? Because if you want your people to be successful, and these guys, they want to win, they want it to be perfect, well, you better tell them what perfect looks like. And you can't just tell them verbally, and you can't just say make it good or make it straight or make it perfect. You got to give them specs, millimeters, torque spec for every nut and bolt. Right? Now they have a foundation to say, hey, if I want it to be perfect, this is my guide. Guess how many times we revise that? I don't see it on here, but there's a little rev number, and much like apps that we used to build, rev 1, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, it's probably like 100.5 thousand something at this point in time. I'm kidding, but the point is that we just don't stop making it better. And every single vehicle that we build is all tracked with data, and we go through it together. Not like at the end of the year, at the end of the quarter, I would freak out if that happened. We do it every single time, after every single build, every day. And then you can fine tune your people, your process, and your parts. What we actually found is that it wasn't usually people. When you have great people, they want it to be good. It was usually process and parts. So just a little hint there. But anyway, standard operating procedures, every single step in the process documented and scored by person, by day, by build, by hour, all of it timed as well. The timing matters to you because we can't build a car on time if we don't have the units of time all broken down by station, by task, by day, by week, by month. So when we tell you we're going to deliver a car by Christmas, you're going to get it by Christmas. Not something we used to be able to do, and something that is not spoken about in the industry, but very hard to do. Most companies were late on their build promise time, and we were too. That's the honest truth. Now, once we transformed all of this into the process that it is, we were able to predict more reliably. But in the beginning, we were still a little bit late. So my goal was to go from late to a little bit late to on time to early. And today, I can tell you with confidence that if you reach out to us and we tell you a time to get your vehicle, minus like completely unforeseen things happening, it's going to happen. And this is an example right here of your torque spec, right? And so this is important because imagine that if it's a shop or a restoration and they don't have SOPs, and they don't have work instructions, and they don't have data tracking, and they don't use torque specs, and they don't have quality checks, that this 52 foot-pounds, this might be your lug nut for your wheel. This might be, your seatbelt anchor. This is not something that could be 42 pounds on Monday, and then 60 pounds on Tuesday, and then 49 pounds on Wednesday, and then, 30 pounds on a Friday. Very risky. And not only is it risky, we warranty this and we stand behind the product. So if we don't build quality into every single step, guess who gets to chase that afterwards? And hey, as much as we'd love to see you after we deliver the car, we don't want to have to do that if we don't have to, and you don't want to either. So then quality engineers, they come in. And because it wasn't in my memory and feel, I can tell you right now, I could pick any one of these items and bring your quality engineer and go measure that torque spec. That's gonna be right. Because after every single step, in each station, we don't wait to do the quality check. We audit it right on the line. And before we move this vehicle to the next stage, we audit that work. And if it is not 100%, it doesn't move forward. So you can start to see how we think, how we do things. It's the people, process, and parts, not just the obsession or the passion. That helps a lot. But if you take art, which is what these guys are, and you blend science, you can do it repeatedly over and over, and that's what we've done. And we're relentless about it. And let me tell you something, no matter how good we get, we will never stop making it better. And that's the philosophy we have, which is amazing because it took a lot to get here. And you can imagine, you've had really nice cars for a long time and you're spoiled and you know it. And then you've got to take a step back into time to something that doesn't work, it leaks, it smells, it breaks down, and is lacking technology and zero safety features. If you're like me, you wouldn't have been satisfied. Well, lucky for you, you didn't have to do the work because I was so hell-bent on making this thing better that we evolved it all the way from restoration, fixing my own car, to restomod, modern restoration, and decided that wasn't good enough and evolved to truly the world's first fully modernized vehicle, zero compromises, built on a modern car chassis, all the safety features that you have in your Range Rover, G-Wagon, Urus, Bentayga, Cullinan, and you don't have to worry about it. It's the most amazing thing. And the team, if you look at their faces of the people that work here, Francois, how you doing, man? They love it. And you can't build a product like this if you don't love it. And here's why. It is very, very hard to pull this off. Anyone can do it, but to do it well defined by perfection every time at scale, it's nearly impossible. But if you have the right team and you have the right processes, oh, hey, my dog's here, Winnie, why are you out here? Then you can pull it off. This is Winnie right here, our team mascot. And we just got Champ as well. Champ was in the Burberry Gold build. This is our baby. She's not supposed to be out here, so I'm gonna have to walk with her to make sure she doesn't get run over. My life is over. Love my dogs as much as I love my kids. What am I kidding? I love my dogs more than my kids, but that's okay. My kids also love the dog more than they love us. So Winnie, I'm gonna bring her back inside. This is unscripted, live. She just wants to hang out and share in the joy. And by the way, your dog will love this, and you can take your dog with you anywhere you go. Thanks, Braden. My wife's watching like, what? You let Winnie out in the factory? Anyway, so let me get back to where I was. The quality checks. Okay, so after we do the quality audits, Nathan, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, man. And you can see here, I'm just gonna show you.
What?
All data driven. His job right here, along with a couple of our other inspectors, is that after we do the test miles, which is what this one's getting ready to do, we get it roadworthy, we put it on the road, we go through rigorous testing, it's not memory and feel, all documented, and then it goes again through a whole process. So we do layered audits on the line, we do test miles rigorously, document everything, and during the test miles, we're not just like driving around the block, we are pounding it, slamming on the brakes, heat cycles. We changed a lot on this vehicle, so we want to make sure it's right. And then therefore we put it on the road. I will take you over to our alignment rack where it goes to before it hits the road. So in-house alignment by our team, and during the test mile process we wrap up all the sensitive areas to avoid any kind of rock chips or anything like that. The expectation when you get this car is that it's going to be perfect cosmetically and mechanically. And I can tell you, if it's not, that's very, very not okay with us. Not for you, for us. And so the process and the prevention and making sure we do everything we can to ensure that's perfect cosmetically and mechanically, it's everything. So then it goes on the road and we water test it. Let me tell you something, all those old cars, FJ40, Land Cruiser, Land Rover Defender, Hummer, old Broncos, they all leaked like water inside. That's really annoying because if it rains, forget about it. And if you ever have to park it outside and it rains, not good. And but it's very common because, you know, people weren't driving them in the rain anyway because they couldn't, because they didn't have anti-lock brakes or traction control. This is a car you could drive every day, and you will drive it every day if you want to, even though you have other cars, plural, because it'll end up being your favorite. And I'll get to that at the end. But so you know, this is our own custom soft top. And again, because we built so many restorations and restomods, we knew what good would look like. And so instead of buying an off-the-shelf top, which is aftermarket, we engineered and designed our own to be waterproof, to be as quiet as possible as a hard top or a soft top could be, and to give you a moonroof function, which I'll show you, because we saw that most of our customers, they didn't always want to have to put the top off, which took forever, and then always put the top back on. They wanted a quick and easy way. But the real key that you need to know here is we water tested. Leak test, done every single time. If there's a single drop of water inside, it doesn't pass. The old cars, they're gonna leak, I promise you. Oh, can't show you that. Okay, so over here, we finished our test miles. Actually, I'm gonna take you down through the inspection station. So let's zip around over here. And yes, I am flying because it's way faster than walking. Jafar, how are you? Jafar is in our quality inspection process, and his team ensures that literally, let me just take you down there real quick. Hey Jafar, in warehouse, what we realized was we can't just buy or even make parts and stick them on the car. Because what if they don't meet the grade and the fit and finish and the quality that belongs on a $250,000 car? Let me tell you something. If you do a restoration or a restomod, most of those parts are probably off the shelf aftermarket parts. What we found was they weren't good enough for a $250,000 vehicle where our customers and we expect it to be perfect. So this is some behind the scenes here. Every single part that we either buy or make goes through a incoming inspection by our own people. We have a whole team of them. We get thousands of parts every single day, and they literally touch every single one, and they're not just eyeballing it. They actually have specifications for every part. And if it is 99%, or I should say less than 100%, it's rejected. And if it is perfect, it's accepted. Only then do we actually put the part on the car. And again, these are things that big OEM manufacturers do, but they don't have to do because they buy tier 1 parts. Tier 1 means that these suppliers are massive suppliers that pay, I don't know, thousands, if not millions of dollars in penalties if the product isn't perfect. Only a tier 1 supplier can supply to the big OEMs. Well, we run that same process, and what we found was that the parts that you can buy off the shelf, they might be nice enough for your restoration, but if you have a Bentley or a Rolls Royce or a Lamborghini or a Ferrari, or you're just picky, it's not gonna be good enough. And so Jafar and his team, they painstakingly, look at this, go through every little spec. Sometimes you have to call them off, right? and look, no is not good. No is not good. You got too many of those, it's not gonna make it on the car. What do you think, Jafar?
You're welcome.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's an excellent job. Thank you. You guys are amazing. And what we learned was, hey, if it's not perfect at the end, why? Was it people? Was it process? Was it parts? And when we went through this, we ended up making a lot of our own parts because we couldn't find companies that would make this level of quality at this schedule and at this volume, because most of those big companies that supply the good stuff on these OEM cars, they have to make like 250,000 of them, and we're obviously not making that many because these are rare, hand-built, low-volume, exclusive vehicles, which you'll hardly ever see another one. Now, if you're in the Hamptons or in the summertime, you're in Palm Beach in the winter, you're in Aspen, you're in Beverly Hills, Malibu, Laguna Beach, yeah, you're gonna see them, but they're probably gonna be a restoration or restomod. And if you do see one of ours, which is really cool because you'll meet people that went through the same journey as you, is highly unlikely it'll be the same color or even the same specs because there's 33 million permutations. Okay, so we go through quality inspection of the incoming parts, skipped around here. We go to road testing, squeaks, leaks, rattles, document everything, by the way, and everybody's really curious after the test miles. They want it to be perfect. I can only give you this analogy, which is back in school, if you're a good student, I sometimes was, hopefully my kids aren't watching, the professor would post the exam score on the door, and everybody that cared would come crowd around quickly to see what score they got. Usually it was the overachievers, right? And much like that, after every single build we do, our team is genuinely curious at what the score was. This is Nathan right here checking anything that wasn't marked 100%. When you do that again over and over and over, you get really good really fast. And so this inspection tunnel, after all the layered audits by our quality engineers on the line, after our test miles, goes through another really rigorous process. And I can tell you, this role is not for 99% of people. You have to have an absolute unbiased opinion. You have to be completely 20/20 vision, and you have to have this like hunt. You're looking for flaws that our customers will never find. And that's something I've shared before. If you want your customers to be over the moon, and by the way, if you're listening to this and you own a business, or you are an aspiring entrepreneur, or you work somewhere and you want to do great things, if you set your bar above, not at, and definitely not below, above what your paying customers want, and you can actually deliver above their expectations, you're going to be happy. It sounds stupid simple, but that's actually what we did. And so all of these processes, like the incoming inspection, which Jafar's team I just showed you, and Nathan doing this inspection, we go too far beyond the expectations. And what I mean by that is that there are things on here you'll never see. It doesn't matter. We're still going to make it perfect. This way, if it's ever up on a lift, which it probably won't be, but if it was, and a world-class person that judges cars for, concourse events, they would come over and go, damn, this is really good. And the opposite of that, guys, is that I can see in the pictures online for the eBay auctions and Barrett-Jackson and the restoration, I can see in the pictures the crookedness and the lines and the flush. I could tell if it's a quality build or not. I know because we built them and I was really close to it. And so these things may seem small, but it's an indicator and a signal of who we are, how we do things, and what you can expect. And this is before the car is delivered. So when we build quality in, we don't have to worry about the issues afterwards. And so I just have to give these guys a shout out. Nathan, you do an amazing job. Appreciate you. I'm not just saying that on camera. Like, they are so good. But it wasn't that they started that way. It was that we gave them a scorecard, and every single time we did it, we said, this is your score. And when you find people who are perfectionists, anything below 100, they're like, WTF, why? How do I make it better? And then you go through the process. Make the people better through training and feedback. Make the process better by refining it over and over and asking if there was anything less than 100%, what do we need to change? And then make the parts good, because if you don't put great parts on your car, then you're really just wasting your time. And again, I know that $250,000 is a lot of money. At one point in time, I had $27 in my checking account when I started, and I didn't grow up with any money. So I am still, me as a frugal, cheap person who had to earn his money. So when I take your money, when you buy a vehicle from us, when you invest and make a purchase with Vintage, you're doing it with me deep down at the core. And I think you should have expectations, because I would. And for 250 grand, that shit better be perfect. That's the philosophy. We'll make that our slogan. That shit better be perfect. And here's why. I didn't start the company to make money. I already made money. I sold sold to a public company in my early 30s and retired. I actually started doing this for fun. And I think that is why we have been able to separate ourselves from the pack, because this wasn't a necessity for us. We did it out of love and passion. And who would be crazy enough to take on an industry and change the way things are done when everybody else was doing restoration? It took an outsider who didn't care about short-term money, who wasn't jaded by automotive, and I wasn't a mechanic, and it came from a technical background to blend science and art. And the number one reason why we're able to separate ourselves from the pack, because of our people. And our people make all the difference in the world. And that at the end of the day, we could actually write the entire playbook, which we have, and we can give you all of the vendors and all the parts we make. We could probably even give you the process too, but it still won't work because you don't have the people. And this right here is the result of days and weeks and months and years and units of vehicles over and over, repeated obsessively and maniacally by a team of people who all agreed, guys, the mission is perfect or nothing. That's how we do it. And by the way, to this date, we built over 200 of these. We've got it dialed in. And these smaller builders, I'm not knocking them, but there's no way you could dial it in if you have small volume, right? And this is like over years, and that's just this model. We built restorations in this building as well. And hey guys, have a great lunchtime. Even the detailing, and let me tell you something, I would be shocked if any of the other builders have this in the detail station. Usually what happens in detail is the best detailer, car wash person, is gonna make it look nice. I don't know how long they spend on it, but I can tell you we have 4 master detailers. It takes 8 hours. You can do the math. Very time consuming. And again, I don't like to call it labor because it's not labor. Labor means anybody with, that can stand and breathe can do it. This is craftsmanship. Oh, and science. SOPs, standard operating procedures for every single step. Cho, why? On detail? Who cares? Yeah, it matters, right? And you can see all of these little things and these codes tell us that during inspection that we do together with our engineering lead, with our operations lead, with our production manager, with our quality team and management and myself. I personally inspected every single one of these because I wanted to lead by example, A. B, I wanted to touch it and see it and make sure that the customer, me, I built this for myself and for my wife and for my friends to make sure that they're absolutely gonna love it. And then anything we found, we documented and we fed it back to people, process, and parts. And so yeah, even in detailing, I'm telling you, start to finish, from zero all the way to delivery, SOPs broken down. And that's how you build something great. And by the way, it is great. It is a piece of art, and we know that it's quality. We know how much blood, sweat, and tears went into it. But at this point, I can tell you, it's down to a science. And that doesn't mean we'll ever stop, because anytime it's not 100%, there's an immediate, trigger. We don't have to tell anybody. It's just in our system. And it gets flagged, and our quality team investigates, and they come back with a report, not down the road, but immediately. And then we fix it fast. Root cause analysis. All things that are very, very, normal in a factory OEM, but very abnormal in a company our size, our stage. And I know because when we've had automotive consultants, Bob Nardelli on our board, former CEO of Chrysler, he comes here, his mind is blown. How can a company our size and stage build a product this well at scale? And it's everything I'm telling you. And there's no secrets because it's very, very hard to copy. And that's where, as a marketer and a sales guy at heart, which I am, you have to be careful, because if you overpromise in building a car, you're going to underdeliver. And to me, perfection is 2 things, guys. It's on-time delivery of when we say it will deliver. And 2, it's perfection cosmetically, mechanically. If we deliver the car to you at your expectations, at the time you expected, at the quality level you expected, you're going to be really happy. And you'll have something like nothing else on the road. So let's talk about that. Here it is after inspection, after final detail in our holding area. And you can see all of these are sold except for one on the live yesterday. This was for sale. We sold it on the live. I think doing this live is going to become a thing. I know people do it on TikTok all the time, but immediately got calls on it, sold very quickly. So if you love the story, it resonates with you, you want something classic looking, but you don't want any problems, and you want safety, and you need safety. By the way, if you're married and kids, trust me, you want the wife's permission slip to get that old car you always wanted. A, it's not an old car, but B, you're gonna have the safety features with latch system in the back. So if you have kids and you want to buckle the latch system with the tethers into the seat, into the chassis, you're gonna want a modern vehicle. So here we have it. I'm gonna walk you through these different colors. All of them are custom builds and sold, with the exception of one in the corner. And then that Wimbledon white sold yesterday. So right here is diamond blue. You've got 30 paint color options. I could do a whole session on colors, guys. I don't know why the big companies don't do it, but they should. Offer more colors. Offer the colors people want. Offer colors that you don't get on normal cars. Now, luckily, this car can wear almost any color. So we offer 30 paint colors. And within those 30 paint colors, we also offer a custom paint to sample. And I can tell you, it is show quality at scale, and it's going to be better than factory. I won't say the name because I don't want to get blacklisted, but we went to a very, very top, well-known car brand that sells cars that are around $100 to $200 to $500,000, and they invited us and our inspection team to their dealership on a new vehicle that today stickers, I think, for like $300,000. And we went through the exact same process that we use just to see how does it compare to a big OEM and a car that had even a higher sticker than ours. And it didn't pass. And the reason why I can tell you isn't because they're bad people or isn't because, they don't care. It's because they can't. They're making like 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 50,000 units. It's all robotics, right? And the standard for OEM is actually below ours. So how? Well, let me tell you what I mean. If there's a standard in the industry for lines and gaps, we make ours tighter and more difficult to achieve. If there's a defects allowed per panel, that's what it's called. It's actually called that. They allow defects, right? Because there's always gonna be something. There's a certain number of allowable defects. Ours is lower. And it goes back to this. I personally don't want flaws on my car that cost 250 grand. And I don't think you should either. And so all that goes back to, again, aiming the bar higher than your customers expect. So when they get the car, they're over the moon about it. And so if you want to do paint to sample, you can pick any color you want. It doesn't matter what it is. And the quality of the paint will blow your mind. And every detail will have been thought through. So this is Wimbledon White. Wimbledon White just sold, but we have another one in progress. So if you like this color and you missed out yesterday, move fast. They sell quickly, guys. I'm just going to tell you, demand far exceeds supply when you're the only company in the world doing what it is you do. And we're doing it well. And by the way, I'll tell you, our social media reaches almost 100 million people per month. It's huge. And I've got to thank you for that, because if you are a fan and you're watching, we couldn't have done it without you. We'd just be a company that built really awesome cars that nobody ever heard about. But instead, we are becoming a global brand known for what it is we do. And that's because of you guys. So appreciate that and shout out. So 30 paint colors, paint to sample option. You have lots of options when it comes to trim. Chrome, white, black. Trim is like headlight rings, bumpers, all your hardware. And all of these materials are the highest grade you can get. And I know on my Lamborghini Urus, and I touch it every time I'm around it, just as a reminder, is that my Lamborghini emblem on my $300,000, $285,000 car is plastic, right? Lamborghini is owned by Volkswagen. They're a huge company. They're a public company. And so they're all about earnings and margin and all that stuff. We're about quality and perfection and craftsmanship first. Again, I didn't start the company to make money, nor did I need to. So we go after things that most brands can't do and won't do. And then we'll talk about warranty and how that works and why it's the best warranty of automotive that I know of. If you know of a better one, reach out to us and tell me. So you've got chrome trim options. You have wheel options, including a new retro wheel. I don't know if you've seen that new 17-inch smoothie, steely kind of looking wheel. Looks like it's from the 60s. That's a brand new custom forged aluminum wheel. Those wheels, if they're at retail and we sold them, which we don't right now, they'd be like $10,000. Super lightweight, super high quality, forged aluminum, and they look classic. These are a bullet hole style. You can get them in a variety of different colors. I'll show you the retro ones once we put it on the Caribbean turquoise. This is diamond blue, 1960s color, really, really nice. LED lighting everywhere, but it looks old. Same headlights, 7-inch round you find on like a International Scout, Defender, old Jeep, FJ Land Cruiser, but it's LED. And that was a really kind of crazy realization for me when I started buying old cars. I bought so many new cars, I ran out of new cars to buy, so I started buying old cars, and I was like, how does anyone see at night? Like, my vision already kind of sucks. But at night, in an old car, forget about it. In addition to it driving like an old car, now you can't see. Not for me, and probably not for you. In fact, I'm sure of it. And so you've got this LED setup. And here, what I love about this up here is that, again, it's American-made steel from Detroit. Not Taiwan, not China, and ours. This is classic inspired. Brand new, no rust. And this emblem right here I get a kick out of because it is billet aluminum made out of the space grade single block of aluminum that we source and then we CNC down into perfection, and then it goes through a process and we send it to Detroit. We're in Atlanta. We send everything that's chrome to Detroit because that's where the best chromer is. So we're very agnostic when it comes to like where things are located. We don't care. We care that it's the best. And so when people from the outside are like, whoa, why are you doing it in Detroit? Don't you have one down the street? Yeah, we looked into it, but they weren't good enough. So billet aluminum. I remember when I was in Pebble Beach, we parked next to a Lamborghini Countach. Please don't blacklist me, Lamborghini. But Countach is like a $2 million car. And I touched that emblem in the front and I was like, damn, it's plastic for $2 million. So little details like this. Now here's the beautiful part. This very beautiful piece of art, that is your front grille, behind it is modern technology. So yeah, you got headlights, but almost anyone can do that, right? Let's be honest. Pre-collision assist. You have a modern car, you probably have pre-collision assist, which means if something pops out in front of you, you're not paying attention, the guy in front of you is not paying attention. You ever drive around and look on the road and see how many people are texting and doing makeup and eating cereal and like doing their homework in the car? Scary, right? So pre-collision assist means that even if you aren't paying attention and that car in front of you stops, it's going to give you the red flashing lights and a beep, and it has emergency braking. Again, things you just won't find in any old car or even restomod. Back here on this side, it's lunchtime, so it's more quiet in here. I don't lose my voice. You have more modern technology. Classic inspired bumper, all brand new, stamped in Detroit, chromed in Detroit. Parking sensors. And the back camera that displays on your 12-inch touchscreen infotainment system. And what I love about this is that it just blends in. And that was always the design philosophy. I designed this car with our team, and we were maniacal about not taking shortcuts. We didn't want to settle either. So every time they asked me, should we do this or should we do that? I'd say both. Or, yeah, that's going to take a long time. I don't care. It's going to cost a lot of money. Doesn't matter. That's going to be really hard. Still doesn't matter. What matters is at the end of the day, we've got to nail it. Because if you're 90%, then you tried, but you failed. And our goal was to blend that vintage design, classic inspired, with this modern technology, engineering, reliability, and safety. And this is the best of both worlds. If there was a better way to do it, we would have done it. So you got your backup parking sensors, a backup camera, which, let's call this out for a minute. I don't know how good of a driver you are. I don't know how good a driver your kids are, or your wife, or your girlfriend, or what have you, but you're in a $250,000+ car. And when your Range Rover and every other car you own has backup camera and parking sensors, but especially the parking sensors, you don't have that, that's a little risky, right? Going backwards, don't have to do it, and you shouldn't have to do it. So you have that modern technology. I'm not going to touch this one because it's locked and we're about to ship it. If you're watching, Karina, cannot wait. Scottsdale, Arizona, you're about to be blessed with this beauty driving around by a wonderful human being who I got to meet in person. And she came here to check out her car and shipping today. You can imagine how you're going to feel when you get this. And we build dream cars for people. And this was always a thing that blew my mind, is that I've bought a lot of cars in my life. And when I started selling our product, our restorations, our restomods, and this product, people use the word dream in their voicemails and their text messages, in the phone conversations. The people that come to the factory, they say, dream cars, always been my dream. I've been dreaming about buying one of these from you. You guys, when someone tells you that this is their dream car and they've been obsessing over it for their whole lives or however long they've been following us on social media, and they give you over 250 grand, there's only one acceptable outcome. And that is why we do what we do the way we do it. Aspen green right here. This has the power steps. If you're short or you have kids or dogs, Winnie can't get in this car without the power steps. It's not that it's lifted really high. We purposely keep the center of gravity low, but the power steps, they make a big difference. Very popular upgrade. Also, upgraded Fox factory coilover suspension. When it comes to partnerships, we only partnered with the very, very best. And sometimes there were big names that you know, like Fox and Roush. And sometimes they were just, we scoured the earth to find the very best chromer. We scoured the earth to find the very best metal stampers. And when you do that, you can have confidence in the product that you're putting together. Like this right here is one of my favorite pieces because it is a piece of jewelry. You can imagine how heavy this is, the weight, because it's billet aluminum. And again, my G-Wagon, my Range Rover, and my Lamborghini Urus, all of them plastic. So instead, billet aluminum, CNC'd, sent to Detroit. We even sing to it as well. You don't want to hear me sing. All right, so this is your billet aluminum handle, just a sculpture, and it just feels good to touch it. But you can open it up and it reveals what I believe will be equal to or better than anything you have at $250,000. And the way we did that was that we started our design process saying we want it to be better than or equal to anything you can get at this $250,000 price point. And so the type of leather and materials we use, billet aluminum. There's very little plastic inside. Why billet aluminum, Cho? It's going to cost a lot of money and, we'll lose a lot of margin. I don't care. I wasn't trying to make a lot of margin. I wanted to build the best car, and then we can hopefully, over time, get efficiencies and pricing, but that's a different story. All the stitching and all the details. Like if this right here, that stitch was off, you're never going to see it because we'll never ship it. And so the type of people and the type of vendors and the type of process, the materials, it almost has to be unrealistic. And there was two types of people and vendors that didn't work out. The ones who said, hey, perfect isn't possible and there's going to be a lot of imperfections, all that stuff. And the ones who were like, hey, I'm down. and the ones that were down to, go through this rigorous process of making it perfect are the ones that we have today. And that is a benefit that you have when you buy from us, is that we've spent a lot of time and a lot of money and a lot of hours reverse engineering perfection. So this right here is your vintage looking window crank that actually powers your power windows. I want to show you this right here, FMVSS compliant. There's no restoration or restomod in the world that should have that sticker on there because it won't pass FMVSS. FMVSS, Google it, means that it is Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standards. Well, what happens when your restoration or restomod doesn't have any safety features? It won't pass FMVSS. And emissions friendly too. That was the other thing. Old cars don't pass emissions today. And if you live in California, forget about it. CARB, one of the pickiest, if not the pickiest state in the country. What that means is if you get an old car and you try to register it, you might have problems because it's not going to pass emissions. So then you need a loophole. Maybe it's got to be older than a certain year. Maybe it's got to be, somehow, some way, special, titling. And let me guess, you don't want to deal with that, do you? You want to go to the DMV, stand there and talk about how, you should be able to register it? We went through all that and it was very, very hard. And so instead, it's a 2025 chassis, passes 50 states emissions, fully FMVSS certified, passes all NHTSA standards and compliance. And we crash tested it. Very, very few companies have gone this length. And the reason why is because I wasn't trying to build a restoration company. I didn't want a restoration company. And this is not a restoration. It is a fully modernized, classic, luxury, high-end vehicle that will make your G-Wagon, your Range Rover, your Urus, your Bentayga, and your Cullinan jealous. And by the way, when you pull up in this, Karina, or whoever buys one of these, you're going to get a lot of respect. Because unlike a G-Wagon or Range Rover or even a Lamborghini Huracan, there's a bunch of those everywhere in LA and Miami. You're going to have something so unique, so rare, and an absolute piece of art that if it's a man, woman, child, young, old, foreign, domestic, it doesn't matter. I've driven these everywhere, in the snow, in the rain, on the freeway, on the beach, everywhere. And the amount of love you get. This isn't like a yellow Lamborghini where you get, a bunch of boys, adolescent boys taking pictures, asking you what you do for a living. You're going to get people just smiling at you and going, damn. And they're going to ask you questions like, what year is it? And they're going to say 1960s. And you're going to go, At the end of the day, you have the best of both worlds. You can have this look. You don't have to have the problems. You don't have to have the old car driving characteristics. You don't have to give up your luxury that you're used to. Just admit it. You're bougie, right? You're looking at a $250,000 car. You like nice stuff. I spoiled my wife because I love her. And I actually built this entire vehicle for her because she just hated the one that I bought from the 1970s. So I know what your wife wants. I know what your girlfriend wants. I know what it is you want. You want everything and no compromises. And at $250,000, you should get it. There's your technology. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto 12-inch touchscreen. By the way, this is for sale. It won't be for sale for long because the weekend's coming up, and it's the only one that we have ready for immediate delivery. Somebody buy this right now. If you text or call us and you reach out to Rachel and our team, somebody will pick up, answer your questions. If you can move really, really fast on it, it's yours. Midnight blue, chrome trim, 17-inch forged aluminum wheels, has a 2.3 2025 Ford turbocharged engine with Roush performance package, has the upgraded Fox factory suspension, has your power steps, all chrome billet aluminum. You've got a soft top, which does fully zip up like this. And it has a safari mode right now where the rear windows are unzipped, which is nice. You get the best of both worlds. You got open air feel, but you still have shade. And my favorite, which we designed and engineered, you have the ability with one hand on my phone, one hand up here to open and close. And this right here, this is our client's favorite mode. We get, by the way, tons of client feedback, as you can imagine. Good, bad, or ugly, we don't care. We want to hear about it. And therefore, we can make the product better. The things they tell us that they love about it, other than the way it looks, other than the way it drives and the fit and finish and the quality, is this top. Super easy to use. I've had a bunch of soft tops. I'll just say it, it's a pain in the ass. That's what they tell us, pain in the ass. But let me tell you what's not a pain in the ass. One hand to easily go from open to closed, and there's two latches. I'll do it right here so you can see. One right here on this side. I'm gonna walk over there, and obviously you can do it from the inside. I'm just outside right now. It's for sale, worn glove, leather interior, and midnight blue. I'm gonna take my shoes off. Actually, no, I'm not. Okay. And you're at a red light, and you decide, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and lock this down. So with this latch right here, one, and then on the other side, you don't have to get out to do this. You can do it from the driver's seat, and you can do it in seconds too. Here's your other latch, two. Here's the good news, waterproof, windproof. Now, of course, if you have safari top, you know, you're gonna be driving in the rain, but if you're driving in the rain with this soft top on, the windows up, and it enclosed like this, waterproof. Drive it every day. I was in Miami last week, and it monsooned sideways, which I was really excited about because I wanted to see how it felt with massive amounts of rain coming in front, back, sideways from all over. And I wanted to be able to drive it in the rain, fast, in traffic in Miami. Miami, terrible drivers, just saying, and still feel confident. And I felt really confident. And I've driven restorations and restomods in all places all over the country. And I was always like, hey, if I'm being honest with myself, I like it, but I don't love it. And all this for me is about love. Like, you'll score some points. You'll get some customers. Maybe you'll make it for a little bit. But love is what separates the best, in my opinion. And when you love it, you'll be relentless. If you love it, you never get tired of it. And for me, it was never about profit. Making money comes when you deliver value repeatedly over a period of time. And so I actually never worry about that at all, much to my CFO's dismay. That's not my problem. My focus is how do we make it the best it could be, exceed customer expectations, build a product that no one's ever built before with zero compromises, do it so well, repeatedly, at scale, and do it over a period of time to where the world will know that this is it's not a restoration company. We are building a quality product, the first of its kind, and this won't be the last model we make either. So pay attention. We'll be announcing that here down the road. And this is a making of a great global car brand. Today is this fully modernized classic truck. In the future, whatever you want. All right, so let's talk about warranty. So you get the car, shipped to you, enclosed trailer, licensed, bonded, insured. We ship every day all over the world, all over the country, and the world too, by the way. Dubai, if you're out there, you got a couple run around Dubai, I'd love to see some pictures. Europe, just flew one to Germany. So founder of Red Bull got one. That'll be in Germany. I can't wait to see that one on the road. And lots of interesting people, entrepreneurs, executives, entertainers, and people like you and me who just said, hey, you know what? I've worked hard in my life. I can afford anything I want. I don't want any problems. Give me the best. This is for the best. and it's very, very expensive to do. But what you get, we're extremely confident in. And so I will share with you our warranty process because I actually think we've saved the best for last. Look, ideally, there's no warranty issue, right? But at the end of the day, every car manufacturer has a warranty for a reason, and we do too. But like everything else we do, we asked a simple question, and it's not one that people ask enough. What does a perfect warranty and a perfect warranty experience look like? And because I've had every car brand, and I've had over 50 cars, and I've had warranty issues on, almost all of them, big, small, whatever. Hell, I bought a brand new AMG G63 4x4 square G-Wagon. It was $365,000. And after 30 days of driving, it got a recall, and they had to take it back and recall every single unit. That's Mercedes AMG. It's a $400,000 car. So it happens, okay? It's how you handle it that matters. So here's how we do it. First of all, when you buy a car from us, we know you, and you'll know us. And it's not like an email or an 800 number. You will text or call your concierge. Single point of contact, same person that does all of your selections, design consult, walk you through all the options, give you updates too. So if you want to see your car being built, pictures, video, updates, single point of contact, okay? And then when the car is delivered, that same person is your point of contact. Maybe you're in the car one night and it's, 8 o'clock at night, and you're like, shoot, how do I turn on the headlights again? Call us, text us. Like, we're in the business of service. And by the way, I know good service. You want a St. Regis 5-star, $2,000 a night type hotel experience where they know your name, they wear white gloves, and they move fast, they say yes sir, they get it done, and that's just part of the service. Again, something restoration shops have a hard time doing because they didn't come from that business. Hey, in restoration, you can get away with a lot. Believe me, I know. But when you are building a car of this caliber, you're trying to build a car brand and a car experience that is equal to, but ideally better than anything you can find on the market, you've got to do more. So here's what we do. That contact will put you in touch, we'll get the data, and we'll find out, can we handle it remotely? If we can, which there's lots of electronics and computers and things we can do remotely, we'll take care of it immediately, all right? If we cannot, and it could be anything, your headlight isn't working, whatever, something pops up, we have our own traveling technicians. They work for us full time. And I make this differentiation because I know that the smaller shops, they don't have the infrastructure, they don't have the people, they don't have the checkbook, they don't have the desire to go chasing, all the problems that were created during the build process. So number one, the best offense here is a good defense. Build quality in the product, you won't have a lot of warranty, right? But when it does pop up, our certified traveling technicians who work for us full time, they'll come to you. Doesn't matter where you're located, and they're gonna come to you fast. Because if it's perfect, the perfect warranty experience would be one person who knows who you are, gets back to you very quickly. We measure incoming call, incoming text to how quick we got back. Literally, I can show you that on the computer. And for us, you don't want to wait hours, and God forbid, you definitely don't want days. And if they never call you back, that's just bad. I've heard about that a lot too. Fast call, quick diagnosis. Can we do it remotely? We can't. Our people are on a plane, in your driveway, in your home, 72 hours or less. They take care of it. They know the car. They work for us. We don't outsource it. And the cost for that is zero. Shouldn't you get that when you buy a $250,000 car? Ask for it. What happens if something pops up? And if they tell you nothing will ever pop up, they're lying to you, because even Ferrari, Lamborghini, Rolls-Royce, Bentley, every car manufacturer has warranty. The question is, how do you handle it? Who takes the call? How fast do you get back to them? And what do you cover and what do you not cover? And our warranty, again, it's an open checkbook. I don't care what it costs, because it should have never happened in the first place. And if it does, we'll take care of it fast and for free. And we'll then take that information and feed it right back to people, process and parts, and do root cause analysis. And that is a complete experience, right? Is exactly what you want from a specs perspective, driving perspective, technology, reliability, and number one is safety. Craftsmanship has to be perfect. The experience, give me updates, let me know what's going on, talk to me, single point of contact. And then knowing peace of mind that at the very core of this, we already engineered a super high quality product using all of our processes and standard operating procedures and quality checks. And the biggest peace of mind is that if something does pop up, try it. You will be there very quick. It's kind of like the Maytag man though, because quite frankly, the secret is, guys, when you build on a 2025 modern car chassis with today's technology, engineering, design, the amount of quality issues you're gonna have are way, way less, significantly less, because it's not, done by memory and feel. B, our process is what allows us to be confident. And then at the end of the day, our philosophy on service is no one has to wait, no one should have to go anywhere, and it shouldn't cost anything, because that's on us, not on you. All right. I think I'm making a lot of enemies here, but I'm all about, just putting it out there and you guys decide. Because at the end of the day, it's your money. You worked really hard for it, I'm guessing. Unless you inherited it, that's okay too. And you want to make sure that all that money you spent you're going to be happy with it. And nothing matters more to us than our customers being over the moon happy. And I would tell you, of all the things we've accomplished, the thing that makes me happiest other than our people, because I love them and they care so much and they put so much love and passion and their DNA into each and every step. They're the ones who's made this happen, right? People and process and parts, it's the passion that separates them from everybody else. But other than our people, I can tell you my favorite thing I hear is customer feedback. And go read the reviews. Those are real reviews. They're not fake. They're absolutely real. If you want to talk to our customers, then you can talk to them. I had Kevin Hart call Tyler Perry in the car while he was doing a test drive. And he stood up for us because Kevin Hart has had a lot of restomods, like high dollar ones. Sorry, Kevin, I'll put your business on the street here. He showed them to me at his house. He's got like 15 or 20 of them. And he told me the price he paid to have some of them done. I won't tell you the price, but it is definitely way more than this, up to the $1 million mark. And I already knew what he was going to tell me because we built restoration and restomod really, really well. It didn't compare to modern car reliability. Even the fit and finish definitely didn't compare because they're only building 1 or 2 or 5 or 10. And at the end of the day, there's nothing that replaces the safety features. So if you made it this far in life and you can afford this car, self-preservation is probably a big deal. And if you have kids and a wife like mine, the wife's going to win this conversation, guys. No safety features, no deal. And back in the day, we lost a lot of business to no safety features. And that is why our build queue is the way it is today and the demand is the way it is today, because this is what people always wanted. So when our customers are happy and it exceeds our customer expectations, this is what we spent. I spent my life over the last few years obsessing over that outcome. And if you're watching this still, I know this was very long, I want you to know that it all started with passion from a guy who had no money to start with, a kid who just had a dream and loved cars, and I pursued it relentlessly. And that was just the beginning. And then I built a team relentlessly. And then we built process and parts relentlessly. And what you end up getting, we are so confident that you'll love it that if you don't like it, we'll just buy it back. But that's not going to happen. And if it does, then I'll take it because we want you to love it. All right. Team standing by. Reach out to Rachel. This right here was for sale yesterday, sold. This right here is for sale today. I'm sure it'll be sold. And the next one, midnight blue, worn glove, chrome trim, every option, ready to ship. If you wire today, I don't know, we get it cleaned up in time. It's already 12 o'clock, but this could be on a truck and going towards your direction, wherever it is you are. If you're in the Southeast, you want to come in this weekend and pick it up, do it fast. It will go quickly. Very rare for us to have inventory in stock. This sold in under 24 hours. Or grab a build in progress. There's a few great colors: Brittany blue, boxwood green, pink one, raven black. And then we have custom build slots where you can customize and pick every single option and knock yourself out. And so if you want something right now, shoot us a text, give us a call at the phone number, or go to our website, vintagemodern.co. And you can go to our configurator, you can check out our inventory page, or you can talk to us live on the phone. No time's too late, and we're open on weekends as well. We pretty much do this 24/7. We don't sleep. And then for the fans, everyone has to have something that inspires them. And I think for me, I wasn't trying to grow up rich. I didn't try to just like chase money. What I was chasing was cars. Cars that cost a lot of money, which is the greatest trick in the world because I love them so much, nothing was going to stop me. And if it meant I needed to make a lot of money to buy the cars I wanted, then nothing was going to stop me. And this is what I want to say to you, because I hear this all the time. People dream about this. People tell us they love our cars. Maybe you are late in your career, or you're early in your career, or you don't even drive yet, but you have a dream. Don't give up on it. If you dream of owning one of these, we love that. That means a lot to us. And I see it in the comments all the time. Put it on your vision board, create a configuration, put it on your phone, and tell yourself, I'm gonna get this. Because you'd be surprised. You'd be very, very surprised what it is you would accomplish. And I get to meet a lot of our customers and hear their story on who's buying these. And it usually starts with, they had a dream and they fought and they fought and they fought, and it was hard. And that's why we sell to so many successful people, because they can understand what it takes to do this and do it well. And so for you, if you're not ready to buy it yet, make yourself a commitment that you'll never, ever give up on getting it. And then one hint I'll give you is, whatever it is you do, whether it's on your team, your company, the state, the world, whatever it is, if you are the best at what you do, you will get rewarded. And that is the bottom line. Our customers are likely in the top 1% of whatever it is they do. It could be catching a football, it could be shooting a basketball, it could be manufacturing wood. I met a guy that's in the wood crate business that bought one of these. We have clients that have 2 or 3, you can imagine what they, but at the end of the day, they all have a similar story. Well, once upon a time, started at the bottom and relentlessly worked my ass off and almost failed multiple times, or maybe failed multiple times. I certainly have. And then got back up and kept on going, and then boom, one day, cha-ching, right? Everyone can get there. Very hard to do, but worth it. So if this motivates you and gets you out of bed in the morning, I love that, because that is exactly how we got here. Okay, end of motivational speech. Reach out to us. Thank you for all of your interest. Thank you for your support, because I can tell you, I know that if it wasn't for the support of our millions of fans, there's no way we'd be doing this. And so, all right, reach out to us. I hope you have a great weekend. Somebody needs to buy this Midnight Blue ASAP, so text or call us. And we'll be back probably over the weekend to give you another live update and hang out with you. So thanks for hanging out with us and believing in us, and we will see you soon. Take care.